The federal government says it is investing $100 billion yearly to tackle economic challenges in the country. Mainstay of Renewed Hope initiative. On abroad, President Joe Biden stresses the urgency for ceasefire deal between the warring countries. Good evening and welcome to the Delta Television News at 8. I am Ogaga Ikama. The federal government to invest $100 billion annually to tackle the economic challenges in Nigeria. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Mr. Atiku Bagudu, stated this at the National Economic Dialogue 2024 organized by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group in Abuja. Mr. Bagudu said the recent nationwide protest against the bad governance in Nigeria has forced government officials to listen more and will do better. Mr. Bagudu revealed that the federal government was targeting $100 billion annual investments to boost the Nigerian economy. The Chief of Staff to the President, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, for his part, said the country was battling various socio-economic challenges that threatened the existence of a national union. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, said the country must continue to strive and remain on the path of prosperity to achieve the necessary results. He said that in 25 years of democracy, the country was still trying and must remain on the path of growth. The chairman of Nigeria Economic Summit Group, NESG, Mr. Olaniyi Yusuf, said Nigeria has experienced significant transformations politically, socially, and economically over the past 25 years, but must do away with policy inconsistency to achieve better results. The event, attended by leaders, policy makers, experts, and key stakeholders with the theme, Nigeria's Economic Future, 25 Years of Democracy and Beyond. The program was to reflect on the nation's economic journey since the return to democratic rule in 1999. The wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has reiterated that economic empowerment will remain a core goal of the Renewed Hope initiative of the federal government. Mrs. Tinubu stated this during the official flag-off of the Renewed Hope Program Initiative, Economic Empowerment Program and Recapitalization Grants for 1,000 female petty traders in Delta State. Ejime Odueme reports.
She said the Renewed Hope initiative had consistently delivered on its promise for both women and youths across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country to support the economic reforms of the present administration. While saying that the event took place simultaneously across the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, she appreciated Governor Sheriff Oborevwori and his wife for their support for the Renewed Hope initiative. Mrs. Tinubu said, through the program, 1,000 pre-selected women petty traders per state will be given the grant of 50,000 naira each to recapitalize and grow their businesses. She said a total of 1,850 million naira would be disbursed to 37,000 female petty traders across the nation, stressing that following the 50 million naira from Governor Sheriff Oborevwori, each beneficiary from Delta State will receive 100,000 naira. Mrs. Tinubu charged beneficiaries to put the money into good use in order to boost their businesses.
We are all aware of the challenges faced by small and medium enterprises, especially the petty traders, who form the backbone of our local economies. These challenges, however, have not deterred the strength of our women. I salute you all and celebrate your courage and resilience that keep you going to put food on the table for your families. Today, through the Renewed Hope Initiative Economic Empowerment Program, we are providing 1,000 pre-selected women petty traders per state with a grant of 50,000 naira each.
The wife of the state governor and state coordinator of the Renewed Hope Initiative, Dickiness Tobore Oborevwori, described the program as a life wire to economic growth of businesses at the grassroots. Mrs. Oborewori said the Renewed Hope initiative had imparted on agriculture, education, economic empowerment, social investment, and healthcare, and assured her of maximum support.
We are here today to flag up another empowerment initiative. Over 36,000 petty traders across the country will benefit from this program.
The president's wife was earlier at the government house at Asaba, where Governor Sheriff Oborewori thanked her for choosing Delta State for the flag-off of the empowerment program and commended the First Lady for supporting Mr. President in
very impactful, and we are touching women and touching people across, and not only in Delta State, for the 36 states of Nigeria. We have shown love to the Nigerian men. All the programs we are doing, the program that we uplift the vulnerable, the less privileged. People are happy, Nigerians are happy.
Governor Oborewori said the program will bring a new dawn in the economic landscape of petty traders in Delta and the nation at large. Ejime Uduime reporting.
The federal government has increased the fees for the procurement of Nigerian passports with effect from the 1st of September 2024. A statement by the spokesman of the Nigerian Immigration Service, DCI Kenneth Udo, says the increment is a part of the government's efforts to maintain the quality and integrity of the Nigerian passport. He said that based on the review, a 32-page passport booklet with 5-year validity previously charged at 35,000 naira would cost 50,000 naira only, while a 64-page passport booklet with 10-year validity, which was 70,000 naira, would be 100,000 naira only. The statement also added that the fees remain unchanged for Nigerians in diaspora. While expressing regrets about the inconvenience the increase would have caused prospective applicants, the NIS assured Nigerians of unwavering commitment to transparency and quality service delivery at all times. The Chibi Entrepreneurship Foundation for Women has re-emphasized its commitment to building the capacity of women countries across Africa for them to actualize their full potential. The founder of the Chibi Entrepreneurship Foundation for Women, Lady Chinyere Chukwudi, stated this during a news conference organized by the foundation to sensitize the public on the activities of the foundation. Eunice Emiazia has details of the report.
Women, especially those in the African continent, have over time not been given the opportunity to achieve their full potentials, as they sometimes face marginalization in different aspects of the economy, inequality in political appointments, and intimidation by their male counterparts. This informed the establishment of a non-governmental organization, Chibi Entrepreneurship Foundation for Women, with a vision to empower 1 million women and girls across Africa with tools and resources to revive and grow their businesses. Briefing journalists on the activities of the foundation at a press conference, the founder of the Chibi Entrepreneurship Foundation for Women, Lady Chinyere Chukwudi, said the empowerment of 1 million women in different countries across Africa by the foundation will be achieved through its Creativity Empowerment Program. Lady Chukwudi said 10 women were empowered during the maiden event, which held in October last year, while 30 other women were empowered with a grant of 100,000 naira each in April this year, making a total of 40 women so far empowered by the foundation, adding that another batch will be empowered in October this year. She said the Chibi Entrepreneurship Foundation for Women was on a mission to support more women with grants to promote their businesses. The Chibi Foundation CEO noted that sensitization would be carried out and educative workshops held to train women on how to have a winning mentality to actualize their full potentials and identify women with special skills with a view to building their capacity in the field to become great entrepreneurs.
Chibi Entrepreneurship Foundation is set up to empower young girls and women, especially those with viable ideas that want to venture into business. We also support those with existing businesses. We help them grow their businesses so that they can be financially stable and in turn assist their families and also contribute to the growth of the economy. As we all know, if you empower a woman, you empower a nation.
She commended the wife of the state governor, Deaconess Tobore Oborewori, for her efforts in impacting lives across gender and age, especially children with autism and dyslexia, a learning disorder, through her You Matter Charity Foundation. She expressed willingness to collaborate with her to make life better for more citizens.
Our project is also dedicated to advocating for the rights to education for every girl child, fighting against gender-based violence and drug abuse among Delta youths, and to provide a safe and nurturing environment for homeless kids with a particular focus on girls. This month of August marked 1 year anniversary of You Matter Charity Foundation, and I wish to commend the effort of the First Lady for the good job she's doing with her foundation, and also to encourage her in the service to humanity, which is the true essence of governance.
Lady Chukwudi called on government at the various levels to encourage and empower more women across board to improve the finances in families, even as she advised women to take advantage of opportunities to build their capacity. Chibi Entrepreneurship Foundation for Women was registered under the Corporate Affairs Commission CAC Allied Act on July 3, 2023, and the Delta State Ministry of Women Affairs, Community and Social Development reported.
Concept Real Estate Limited, a non-governmental organization in Asaba, has held a one-day seminar on mastering the art of selling in real estate. Henry Unogwa reports.
Declaring the seminar open, the manager of the Nadistel Concept Real Estate Limited, Mr. Uche Onwebuchilem, described real estate business as land banking, saying the workshop was to train realtors in the company on ways to reach the public through real estate. He noted that many investors had been discouraged from investing in real estate as a result of not too favorable past experiences. Mr. Onwebuchilem emphasized the need for agents to speak honestly with their clients instead of misleading them because of commissions, and called on the public to invest with the Nadistel Concept Real Estate Limited, who sells only verified and affordable land to clients.
Money we hardly lost in an estate company, and that is why you encourage people to deal more in estates and not native lands, because native lands goes with a lot of trouble, especially here in Asaba.
Some of the resource persons lectured on ways to build a loyal client, the need to invest in real estate, company's code of ethics, and the importance of maintaining confidentiality. They enjoined the participants to avoid actions that could be in conflict with the company's interests, adding that maintaining a cordial relationship with clients should be a given priority. They advised them to offer value first, which includes free consultation by clients.
To be effective in building a loyal network, there are strategies, permit me to use this word, techniques, styles, tricks that you need to be effective in building that loyal network.
Putting yourself in your buyer's shoes is a secret weapon that you need.
Other speakers, including Mrs. Chidima Onyeka and Mr. Solomon AKOC, enjoined realtors to put knowledge gained into practice in order to improve service delivery and serve as an opportunity for them to own properties and make better life.
Yourself in the shoes of your cold prospect, put yourself in their shoes, know their mindset, understand their psychology.
Analytical buyer, we need to understand them so that we'll be able to maintain such relationship with the buyer. This type of buyer is highly rational and fact-driven.
The event featured a drama presentation on how to attend to clients. Henry Onogwa reporting.
allocate funds in the 2025 budget based on a thorough needs assessment prioritizing essential projects and agencies. The Chief of Staff to the President, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, disclosed this while speaking to journalists after a one-day fact-finding tour of government agencies under the State House, emphasizing the need for prioritization given the limited resources available. Honorable Gbajabiamila questioned the current funding and performance of various agencies, considering their mandates and relevance to the administration's vision of the Renewed Hope agenda. He hinted at the possibility of merging or scrapping underperforming agencies to optimize resources. In separate interactions with heads and staff of the agencies, the Chief of Staff pledged that the Presidency would ensure better welfare and working conditions of staff within the agencies under the supervision of the State House. He urged the staff of the agencies to embrace innovation, excellence, and professionalism while supporting their chief executives to succeed. During the tour, Honorable Gbajabiamila underscored the importance of these agencies in driving the government's Renewed Hope agenda in the economic and development sectors and reiterated the administration's resolve. The administration was a follow-up to the recent one-day retreat for the heads of State House agencies. The retreat was convened to reinforce the administration's commitment to strengthening institutions, ensuring they are well equipped to fulfill their mandates and reduce the cost of governance. The president of the Trade Union Congress TUC, Comrade Festus Osifo, has faulted the invitation of the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC, Comrade Joe Ajaero, by the police, accusing the Nigerian government of intimidating the labor movement. The police on Monday invited Comrade Ajaero for questioning over allegations of terrorism financing, treasonable felony, cybercrime, and other related offenses. Speaking as a guest on a television program, Comrade Osifo asked the authorities to unveil the offenses allegedly committed by Comrade Ajaero. Meanwhile, queues have resurfaced in most filling stations in the country early this week, and oil marketers attributed it to lingering logistic challenges. During the show, the president of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staffs Association of Nigerian Pegasin also weighed in on the recurring fuel queues in the country. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has again issued a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government, insisting on strike over unresolved issues with the authorities. The president of ASU, Mr. Emmanuel Oshodike, stated this while addressing journalists at the Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudike, listed the issues to include Emergency Revitalization Fund of Public Universities, payment of outstanding earned academic allowances, and release of withheld salaries, promotion arrears, and third-party deductions of its members. Professor Oshodike also noted other issues include stoppage of illegal recruitments, proliferation of public universities, and abuse of universities' laws, regulations, and processes, and removal of universities from the Treasury single account, and new IPPIS vis-a-vis to herald the autonomy of universities. He explained that the ASU held its National Executive Council meeting at the University of Ibadan, Oyo State, between Saturday, August 17 and Sunday, August 18, 2024, where the union undertook a comprehensive review of the outcomes from its engagements with the federal and state governments on various outstanding issues that have encumbered the development of Nigerian universities and hindered university workers' drive to reposition them for the transformation of Nigeria. The professor said the meeting further appraised worsening living and working conditions in the nation's universities at large. The meeting received alarming reports on the failed promises of the government to address the lingering issues that forced the union to embark on the nationwide strike action of February to October 2022. According to him, the union regretted that university issues over which ASU has been engaging federal and state governments in the last decade or so are yet to be meaningfully addressed. The issues included a review and signing of the renegotiated 2009 Federal Government of Nigeria ASU agreement and impactful funding. He affirmed ASU's belief in the national dialogue, just as it dismissed ethnic suspicion, religious bigotry, plutocratic tendencies, and such other practices that the victory session in his honor at the Supreme Court in Abuja. He said access to justice has contributed largely to the delay in the hearing of cases, as litigants and lawyers are forced to wait for several years to have their cases decided. Justice Ariwola explained that there were too many cases before the Apex Court which ought to have been terminated at the Appellate Court. The former CJN explained that the right to fair hearing could only be guaranteed when lawyers and litigants would not have to wait for so long for their cases to be heard. He also stressed the need for the bench to have more judicial officers to adjudicate on all matters timely. The then President Muhammadu Buhari appointed Justice Ariwola as acting CJN in June 2022, following the resignation of Justice Tanko Muhammad on health grounds. Justice Ariwola was subsequently sworn in October of the same year following his confirmation by the Senate. Justice Ariwola was appointed a Justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria in 2011. He was a Justice of the Court of Appeal between 2005 and 2011 after having been elevated from the State High Court of Oyo State. Ariwola turned 70 years today, August 22, 2024. Meanwhile, the National Judicial Council (NJC) has recommended Justice Kudirat Motomori Kukure-Ekun to President Bola Tinubu for appointment as CJN. The Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) has called on the judiciary to justify the recent improvement in its remuneration. In a statement signed by the NBA President, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Yakubu Mekiao, the association noted that the judiciary must make a deliberate and conscious effort to walk back into the hearts of Nigerians and revive public confidence in that arm of government. Applauding the efforts that went into enacting the judicial office holders' salaries and allowances, the NBA also called on the national and state houses of assembly to seriously consider the inclusion of magistrates within the definition of judicial officers in the Constitution in the ongoing constitutional review. Similarly, other judicial staff, registrars, legal assistants, and other court workers should be catered for. The association listed to include matters of appointment, discipline, and elevation of judicial officers, noting that to strengthen judicial oversight bodies is no less important. The NBA president also expressed confidence that his successor, Mr. Alpha Musigwe, the NBA president-elect, would prioritize the issues when he takes over the office later this month. Last week, President Bola Tinubu signed the judicial office holders' salaries and allowances into law, raising judges' earnings by as much as 300%. A Chinese firm, Zhongshan Fucheng Industrial Investments Limited, has finalized the repossession of a luxury jet owned by Nigeria in Canada. Zhongshan recently received a change of custodian paperwork for the Bombardier 6000 type BD700 1A110 aircraft from Canadian authorities in Montreal after a Canadian court issued a judgment that empowered the firm to seize the jet from Nigeria. According to the report, Judge David Collier of the Superior Court of Quebec quashed Nigeria's arguments to keep ownership of the aircraft on March 21, 2024. Records showed that the aircraft was purchased for $57 million by fugitive Dan Etete as part of his spending binge shortly after netting over $350 million windfall from the lucrative but corrupt sale of the OPL 245 oil field in 2010. The report said Nigeria first seized the aircraft from Etete in 2016 and trapped it in Dubai, disclosing that flight tracking websites showed it was then flown suddenly to Canada on May 29, 2020, where Nigeria quickly obtained a court order for seizure and held it at the main airport in Montreal. However, a Canadian firm, T-Bit, had sought to claim ownership, but Canadian courts allowed Nigeria to remain in charge of the aircraft. Explaining for 9 months over the February to March 2023 general elections was frivolous and unacceptable. The judge also rejected Nigeria's sovereign immunity claim along the lines already itemized by the arbitration panel and courts in the United Kingdom. An appellate court in the United States also recently ruled that Nigeria cannot claim sovereign immunity from Zhongshan's recovery of its arbitration judgment. With the latest development, Zhongshan has successfully seized Nigeria's assets in the UK, France, and Canada. The firm also reportedly expected more seizures in Belgium and the US in the coming weeks. The case resulted from a dispute between Zhongshan and Ogun State. The Chinese firm said the state it has maintained no wrong. Still to come, President Joe Biden stresses the urgency for ceasefire deal between the warring countries. Details of this and more coming up shortly. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us on the news. The global scene is next as we join our world news desk.
US President Joe Biden has stressed the urgency of reaching a Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Report says, in a telephone conversation yesterday, joined by Vice President Kamala Harris, Mr. Biden stated the importance of removing all obstacles blocking an agreement with Hamas. He also reaffirmed Washington's commitment to help defend Israel against what the White House called all threats from Iran, including its proxy terrorist group Hamas, Hezbollah, and Houthis. It came after the U.S. Secretary of State wrapped up a diplomatic tour of the Middle East, pushing for a deal that could end the war. The office of Mr. Netanyahu reiterated yesterday that Israel planned to keep troops in a strip of land along the border between Gaza and Egypt, known as the Philadelphia Corridor, in the event of such deal. The issue had become a key sticking point, with Hamas so far insisting on a total withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza. Egypt also opposes the presence of Israeli troops along its border with Gaza, according to reports. Over 40,223 people have been killed in Gaza since then, according to the territory's Hamas-run health ministry, which does not nominated as the Democratic candidate for vice president at the party's convention in Chicago last night, where delegates also delighted in a surprise speech about freedom from Oprah Winfrey. Minnesota Democrats were the last to leave the United Center after their state governor worked the room with a falsy pep talk inspired by his love of American football. His proud son Gosh could also been seen giving a tearful reaction. The night also played host to Democratic grandees such as former President Bill Clinton, and former high school American football coach went on to use pitch-side metaphors to try to stir the passions of Democrats and moderates alike. Similarly, television icon Oprah Winfrey made a surprise appearance at the Democratic National Convention (DNC) in her hometown of Chicago, where she urged Democrats and independent voters to choose common sense over nonsense. Winfrey, who has avoided the political spotlight in recent years, lent some of her star power to Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, on the third night of the four-day convention. The 70-year-old's comments came before Mr. Walz's primetime speech to accept formally the party's nomination for vice president. Her endorsement of the pair helped to further energize the DNC, which has this week already hosted other famous faces such as rapper Lil Jon. As well as voicing a message of unity, former talk show host Winfrey tacitly criticized the Republican challengers, former President Donald Trump and Ohio Senator J.D. Vance.
If you do not have autonomy over this world and how they are raised and supported, there is no American dream.
Also, Kenyan police are offering a significant cash reward for information leading to the capture of a serial murder suspect who escaped from custody. Mr. Collins Jamaisi Kalusha escaped alongside 12 suspects from Gigiri police station in the capital Nairobi on Tuesday. 8 police officers have since been suspended and 5 charged to court over the escape, which police said was aided by insiders. Last month, Lee said Mr. Kalusha had confessed to the murder of 42 women, including his wife, since 2022, but his lawyer said he had been tortured to confess. A wanted person notice was, however, released.
Let's join our business news desk for happenings in the business sector.
The price of liquefied petroleum gas has soared to 1,300 naira per kilogram this month, representing 8.3% month-on-month from 1,200 naira in July. Similarly, the price of 5 kg cooking gas has risen by 8.13% to amount of 6,500 from 6,000 sold in July 2024. The national president of the Nigeria Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, Mr. Olatubosun Oladapo, said they were aware of the recent increase as gas price was influenced by exchange rate, but hopefully the price would drop by the end of the month. The association assured that the price was dropping gradually. Meanwhile, the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) that the average retail price for refilling a 5 kg cylinder fell by 14.23% month-on-month to 5,974.55 naira in July 2024 from 6,996.03 naira in June. The report stated that on a year-on-year basis, it increased by 46.96% from 4,072.87 naira in July 2023. On state profile analysis, Borno State recorded the highest average price for refilling a 5 kg cylinder with 7,088.59 naira, followed by Yobe and Sokoto State with 6,935.50 and 6,750 naira. On the other hand, Delta State recorded the lowest price in most foreign exchange markets, NAFEM. The average turnover at the NAFEM increased by 61.30%, reflecting increased trading activities in the market. According to the CBN's economic report for the first quarter of 2024, net foreign exchange inflow to the economy stood at $11.50 billion in the review quarter. Foreign exchange inflow into the economy increased by 25.69% to $22.26 billion from $17.71 billion in the fourth quarter of 2023. Inflow through the bank increased to $8.09 billion from $5.01 billion in the preceding quarter. Similarly, inflow through autonomous sources increased to $14.17 billion from $12.70 billion in the preceding quarter. Foreign exchange inflows through an economy refer to the funds or currency from foreign sources entering a country's financial system. The inflow could come from various sources such as exports, foreign direct investment, FDI, remittances, portfolio investment, loans, and aid. The inflows were crucial as they provided the necessary foreign currency that helped in balancing payments, supporting imports, stabilizing the local currency, and strengthening the overall economy.
Next is the thought for the day. When wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. But when character is lost, everything is lost. To end the news, here again are the highlights. The federal government is planning to invest $100 billion annually to tackle the economic challenges in Nigeria. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Mr. Atiku Bagudu, stated this at the